right, I'm Chris Simms. Welcome to Chris Simms Unbuttoned. I have my man Ahmed Fareed sitting right here who's going to pepper me with some questions. We're going to quiz him, too, a little later here because what we're going to do is the old Jon Gruden playbook or play calls. And if anybody has been alive or watching anything social media-wise on football the last few years, every 8-9 months, these two plays come out on social media of me bumbling and stumbling all over one of Jon Gruden's plays as a rookie, and it's embarrassing. So our producers today are like, hey, how about we actually explain those plays and what they mean? And I think that's a pretty damn good idea. So the first one, all right?
we go, when this play goes viral, we want to have a defense, a rebuttal.
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, these plays are needlessly long. This is like the most complicated thing. Like I took Calculus 1 in college.
Yeah.
This is way more complicated than that.
It's long. There's no doubt. A lot of verbiage. One thing I've always told is Gruden's still trying to find ways to make the playbook and the calls more concise. You know, this day and age with college being different and signals from the sideline and free agency, you don't have time to have a full year to go, let me digest this language and this offense. So the first one that always gets shown of me just butchering it is green right X, shift to Viper right, 382 X stick looky. All right? That's just one play. Yep, I got it. Boom. I had lots of practice after that one mess up my rookie year. But, so here we go. Let me start to explain it. The first thing you hear is green right X, right? So if everybody out there, you want to know what green right X is, green right X is just the starting off formation. And here it is, right here. This is green right in the West Coast Bill Walsh offense is I formation, right? And I was just on green right, it would be, tight end here, Jerry Rice here, John Taylor here. But I called green right X. And X makes the X and the Z switch when I say that. So now the X is really playing the Z position, and the Z is playing the X position. So we're going to go green right X, shift to Viper right. So literally, I would get up to the line of scrimmage as a quarterback, and Jon Gruden, hey, ready, break. We'd break the huddle, and I'd get up and, act like I might, take a snap just to get the defense to kind of flinch or whatever, and then I'd go, move, okay? And as I say move, now everybody's in disperse, and we're going into Viper right. And here is Viper right, all right? Now, Viper right basically is what you see is an empty set, right? It's 5 eligible receivers all out, nobody behind the quarterback, right? The Z staying in the same place as we saw in green right X up here. The X pretty much in the same place as well. But as you see, the backfield exploded. And the running back, he went out here to the left side. Tight end split out from here to get in the slot. And the fullback on the farthest point on the outside here of the 3 receivers. Now, the play itself, Viper. People might go,
so you've gone through green right X, that's 3 words.
Right.
Shift to Viper right. So we're at 7 words, and we haven't even gotten to the play yet.
Haven't got to the play yet. Okay. You're exactly right. Gruden was always into, I want to make sure everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and we can speak to each specific player, which, yes, puts a lot on the quarterback. And then the other guys in the huddle just need to hear one little thing, and they know what they're doing, while the quarterback has to know it all. So now here, we get the Viper right. Why is it called Viper right? I don't really know. I'm not sure if my knowing Gruden and how names come about, Viper, a snake that'll bite you, I would think was this formation. We need to think of a name of this formation. How about this one? It's, kind of it's a sneaky snake. It's a viper. It'll bite you in the butt because we're going to have people where you don't expect them to be.
But you don't know that that's true.
I don't know that's true. I'm totally out of it.
Because some coaches make it intuitive like that, though,
They do, right.
Yeah.
And I would think that's where Gruden got it from. This is Viper. We're trying to bite you here, or get you, or whatever. I don't know. Cause mismatches. And there is an element of that, first off, because you have the receivers on the inside, which is rare, and then everybody else outside of them. So because of this formation, you're going to get great context clues before the snap even starts. Listen, if there's a corner out here, over the running back, it's a zone coverage. You're getting zone. Corners don't play running backs or fullbacks man-to-man. They don't pay Jalen Ramsey, or Stephon Gilmore $18 million a year to cover the fullback man-to-man out of the backfield. So if you see a corner on the outside, right as I saw the formation, oh, it's zone. Okay, I like that. Now, if I saw the corners inside and maybe a linebacker out here, then I go, oh, it's man-to-man. So that's why it's a great formation too, because it'll tell you some clues before the pre-snap. Now, we're going to get into this play. This is a famous West Coast play. Jerry Rice has caught so many touchdown passes on this. Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints is the league leader on this play right now. Nobody catches this pass play more than anything. Now, you heard the 382 X stick. All right, so just to take you through X stick first off. X stick is a stick route. It's 5 yards and turn out, basically, okay? So he's going to go up and turn out, all right? And that's all. Now, if it's some sort of zone coverage, he might just turn back right to the quarterback and make himself available in the middle of two defenders. When you hear X stick, the guy next to him has to know, all right? Because Y is not being told anything here. He's got to know, oh, it's X stick, I'm next to X, I have to run the flat route. So he's going to know that just by hearing X stick to know, wait, it's X stick, and anytime we call X stick, somebody has to run in the flat, and I'm the one right here to do that. So you got to know. This is part of knowing an offense, learning the system, right, when you hear those type of things. And when there's 3 receivers to the stick side, the outside one always has just the clear out go route, right? The fullback in this case, not a receiver. And every now and then, you know, what happens here is you end up throwing him the ball because the corner might be out here in zone coverage, and he's like, they're not going to throw to the fullback. And he gets real, antsy to jump these routes. And then all of a sudden there's this wide hole out here, and you see a fullback catch a ball for like 15 yards. Like, how the hell did he get open like that? Well, nobody thought you were going to throw him the ball. So really, the X stick part 2, just for you and anybody out there listening, is for any really man-to-man or single safety type defense, whether that's 3 deep zone, man-to-man, any type of single safety defense. Gruden taught us to play the X stick side. That was going to be our plays. Now, if we got any 2 deep look, that's when we went back to the looky side. All right. Now, when you have the looky concept, again, this guy just knows that he has to run a clear out go route, right? Every now and then they might tag him with a different route where he runs a hitch route or something like that. But the beauty of this play is really all for this guy, right? The Z receiver, and this is the looky. This would be the West Coast signal. You might see Drew Brees do this or something like that. Derek Carr this year. They're given the looky signal. And you want to play the looky signal versus a 2 deep coverage. 2 safeties deep, right? And depending on the zone, there's going to be some sort of nickel defender here who is going to play this guy, all right, in this 2 deep coverage. It might be 2 deep man. It might be some sort of Tampa 2, whatever it is. But the beauty of this play, Ahmed, is the quarterback and the receiver being on the same page and really should never be wrong. And that's where Michael Thomas and Drew Brees just kill it, okay? So within this, and I'm going to just erase him for a second, a looky route is basically a slant route. All right, where he's going to just come across. And you go, oh, well, what's the big deal about that? That's great. Yeah, slant route. All right, well, a lot of times when teams play cover 2, this nickel back plays on the outside edge of the receiver, right? So now somebody like Michael Thomas pushes him out, and now Michael Thomas breaks in. He's created this little pocket or hole for himself for Drew Brees to throw him the ball. And like in a Tampa 2, that middle linebacker's out of there, so there's a void there in coverage, right? So Michael Thomas is going to catch that ball and, do some damage with it. But teams play the Saints all the time, and they're always like, oh, man, I mean, they hit those Michael Thomas on these quick slants right over the middle, whatever in the middle. We need to take that away. We need to take it away. Well, the beauty of this play is when teams take it away, you still can't take it away because they'll go, hey, we're playing cover 2. We want you to play really hard inside so Michael Thomas can't get in there, right? We don't want Drew Brees to go, well, this is the other part of the looky aspect because we're going to looky at the coverage and see how he's covering me, and we'll make, the proper adjustment. And with this, if a Michael Thomas like this got this hard inside leverage by the nickel back, he's going to push up and run a slant route and push him inside a little bit and then retrace back outside, right? So think about the DB. He's going, oh, man, I've seen on film all week Michael Thomas is right here. He's going to run this slant route. I'm not going to let him. I'm going to cut him off. Michael Thomas is going to go, fine, cut me off. And he's actually going to make it look like, oh, man, you're making it hard for me. He's going to really attack the guy and borderline push off to push him more inside to when Michael Thomas comes inside, gives him the old wing, and then boom, he catches it going out, and boom, he catches it, turns up, and it's 6, 7, 8-yard gain. So there's your 382 X-stick lookie. Okay?
What's the 382?
382 is the pass protection, right? A slide protection, all right, for these 5 guys, and whoever we deem as the guy where, you hear Brady, 52's Mike, 50's the Mike, or 51's the Mike. So if I got up to the line of scrimmage and let's just say we're playing Ray Lewis because he's 52, and I go, 52's the Mike. All right, so let's say Ray was just sitting right here as number 52. Now, these 5 offensive linemen, they know they have to block the 4 defensive linemen, but they're also responsible for that guy as well, right? To where they're going to pick him up. So if he blitzes through here, they're going to find some way to pass it off and still pick him up. Now, any more than 6 blitzer or 5 blitzers, the quarterback knows, I got to get the ball out of my hand because I only have 5 blockers here and we're outnumbered.
Right.
But that's what the 382 is. And the 3 in the 82 is to say it's a 3-step drop to also let the lineman know, we shouldn't be holding this ball all day long. So if there is somebody blitzing and you got to cut them or do something like that, you're okay to do that because this ball should be out within a 1, 2, 3, boom, throw it type of rhythm. So there's the old green right X, shift to viper right, 382 X-stick lookie.
That's insane that there's so many words, and yet the wide receiver, the fullback, and the running back just have to know their routes.
They're
not explicitly said in there. So what if so the Y knows to run the flat if it's a X stick,
right.
Fullback goes fly. So what if it's a different X route? Do they just what would be a variation of that?
Well, if there could be different formations where the fullback first off could be here and the Y could be outside.
Sure.
And still then again, these two got to know wait, now I have to run the clear out route and I got to run the flat route.
Right.
And other things, it depends. There's so many things that it can be tagged. It could be 82 all go, right? X shallow cross. All right, so 82 all go. Hey, listen, everybody knows that. It's go, it's go, it's go, it's go. And then X might sit there and run a shallow cross or, something like that. But, in these specific empty sets, usually someone's going to be tagged with some sort of, word or phrase that's going to be kind of a clue to other guys to go, oh, wait, he's being tagged with that. I need to know that I have to do this or that off of that. All right, so first thing is repeat the play to me.
I got it in front of me.
Oh, that's a cheater. Look at me. Just say it right after me.
There's no way.
Say it right. Just look at me.
Okay.
We're in the huddle. It's you and me and Jon Gruden. Here we go. All right, here we go, Ahmed. Here we go.
Yep.
All right, hey, come on. Good tempo here. Good tempo. Green right X, shift to viper right, 382 X stick lookie.
Green right X, shift to viper right, 382 X stick. Y lookie.
Nope, no Y lookie, just lookie. We didn't say the lookie part.
You're right.
Come on, say it so these damn players can understand what you're saying. Say it with some conviction, like you believe in the play.
Green to viper right.
Green right
X.
Shift to viper right.
382. X stick. Lookie.
There we go. Way to go. Way to go. We might have to hurry up the line of scrimmage.
He goes, why were you so scared at the end of it, though? I was like, I'm very intimidated right now.
Good. See, now you know what I felt like.
So you get the play out, and then you do all that, and you're like, okay, my God, I got it. But then, what as the play's developing, what's your progression here? I guess you just said it's the coverage.
This is an easy one. It's not like this is pretty much like I said, where if you see one safety deep, you're going to really kind of play this combination here. If you got a two deep safety look, you're going to play your lookie guy on the backside and go, wait, no, we've called this formation because he's good at running lookies, and we know he knows what to do and everything about it, and he's going to get open. And if he doesn't get open on a play like this, it's like, oh, you just got to throw it away or run and scramble or do something like that. It's just one of those plays. This is supposed to be quick. Like I said, you break the huddle, you get up in that green right X formation, move. Everybody gets set. Booty five, set hut. And you don't want the defense to be able to sit there and think about what might be thrown at them because they've been taught in empty sets. Oh, this team likes to do that. This team likes to do this. So you start to, as a defensive player, you give them more time. They start to think about, wait, coach told me they like to run that X-stick lookie. But if you can keep the pace up and make them thinking and they're still calling things, maybe they won't process the checklist that the coaches told them to process, right, during the weeks. And that's the beauty of these type of things.
Do you remember your most productive play from this play right here? Do you remember? either the fullback on the fly there, running back on a fly.
Yeah, I'd want to say I hit the lookie a few times, in that 2005 season, but nothing like where.
How many times do you think you ran this play in your career?
Well, a lot of X stick. A lot of X stick. I mean, we were big on the stick routes in general.
So maybe not from this formation.
No, but like different forms of stick and things like that. Yes, but this, a staple.
Yeah.
A staple in our.
Who was your ex?
Joey Galloway, which was a good one to have, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so he was amazing at that. And, I mean, we get in different sets, and, 200 jet sticky was one of our go-to, like, oh, hey, they're blitzing, or we're not sure what they're doing here. Let's just get some of the safe. We know how to execute this play. Black, 200 jet sticky. Let's see, sticky? I don't know what we did with sticky. I don't know what it was, actually, the signal. I'm not sure. But black, 200 jet sticky, just a good way to go, hey, we're going to get the ball, get it off quick. We've practiced a lot. We know our rules, and we can get a quick 4 or 5 yard completion.
Okay. All right. I think I got that one down.
You got that one down?
Can we do one more?
Yeah, let's do it. You ready? I'm going to flip
ready.
this bad boy over because we have the next of the Chris Simms play debacles.
When you look back at that clip, like, do you feel like on a better day you would have been able to nail those, or you go, you know what? Those ridiculous play calls. Like, that's way too long.
No, they're ridiculous. Yes, but this is what I tell people. Like, that was, I'm no joke, maybe my 5th, 6th day as a rookie. And Gruden, I had plays that I knew, okay, I'm gonna have to run these in practice. And then with those plays, I got thrown into like supposed to be Sean King's plays, who was the backup. And I wasn't, ready for it. And it was a good lesson for me to go, wait, I can't just go back to my room at night and study the plays that I know I'm going to have tomorrow. I need to start studying it all because, jerk head coach Jon Gruden might do this to me again, to where I better pay attention to what Brad's plays are and Sean King's plays are. So one of them has to go take a pee or tape their ankle or whatever. If coach needs me to run the practice, I can do that.
I think your reaction to him was, what was it? You go, I'm the problem? Is that what you said to him? You go,
Yeah,
I'm the problem.
I'm the
here.
problem. Yeah. I was the problem.
Which he probably respects that. It's like, hey, you realized a weakness here that we have a ridiculously large playbook and you haven't mastered it in 5 days.
Yes.
That's your weakness. Figure it out.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's why, he's an offensive genius, though. He's got a reason for everything, and he taught me a lot as far as X's and O's are concerned and the clues to look at as a quarterback. And, hey, Derek Carr threw for over 70%. They did do some good things on offense last year, and now they got some weapons, so we'll see.
All right, play number 2.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
Scatter to west, right tight, F left, 372, Y stick, Z spot.
Okay. All right. So, first off,
I just read it, and I still had a hard time with it.
And you'll know some of this, Y stick, X stick. You just heard that in the last play, right? So you should be able to piece that together. But the first thing is the scatter, right? And here is the scatter formation. Really odd, right? Okay, you see running backs over here at a tight end position. Y's here. The U in the West Coast offense is the second tight end. They call him the U-man, right? Yeah. And then there's the X receiver and the Z receiver. So this is scatter. These are one of these formations. When I was playing, I used to go like, we never ran a play at a scatter.
Yeah.
So I didn't really give a damn where they lined up at scatter. I would always tell people, like, I would tell Joey Galloway or some of those guys, like, you guys remember scatter. I'm not going to you ask me anything else on the offense, but until we run a play from scatter, I'm not going to learn it. I don't give a damn, right? Because we didn't run a play, right? And to me, it took away from the usefulness of what we were trying to do. See, back in those days, we get in these formations, and teams play man-to-man. And then you would scatter, and they would still be trying to play man-to-man, and guys would shift all over the place, and there would be confusions. Like, wait, I had him, he was here, and now he's over there, and wait, who's covering who? And doing all that. But what happened is we started to do these scatter to these formations, west, right, tight, as we'll get to in a second. But teams would see us line up in these formations, and the smart ones used to say, just hold on. They're not running a play. They don't ever run a play out of this formation. And we're not playing man-to-man because they're going to try to screw us up. So we're in zone already, whatever. Tampa 2, blah, blah, blah. They're making their checks because they're going, oh, here comes some crazy shit. And it lost the usefulness of what it was all about. And took away from some of our offensive plays in general because it scared teams to play man-to-man against us because they were always afraid Gruden was going to shift. So then nobody would play us man-to-man. And Gruden's playbook at the time was like the best man-to-man beating offense there was. I mean, it was amazing. It used to make me mad. So they're scattered. Scatter to West right tight. So I'll do the scatter real quick and just draw it up here. I mean, this is, here's, so when I would get up the line, move, okay? Y is going to go halfway there and then come back right to where he is. U is going to go right here. You know, X is going to go way over there. Z is going to go over here, and the running back's going to come back, right? So you can understand why he's trying to do this. It's like create the illusion of complexity. Wait, hold, what are they doing? Where are they going? And you, as a defender, you can't go through your checklist again. You're like, right? You're trying to think like, wait, what are they doing? What formation are they in? So move. So that was the scatter.
So if you're a defense and you see the running back out there and you see the second tight end lining up as a fullback, you're like, they're not running a play out of this.
No, unless you've seen something during the week on film where your coach goes, hey, this formation, they got like 4 or 5 plays. You better be ready.
Right, but
because we didn't, so it lost its luster. But yeah, the smart teams have formations like this, and I'm not trying to say Jon Gruden's not smart, but I know he's adjusted this already, where you have to have a play or two out of these formations to keep a defense honest. So you can get up the line of scrimmage, and instead of when you're doing this, the defense just still sitting there waiting like, we're not going to run a play.
Yeah.
So you can get up there and set up and toss a ball or whatever, and all of a sudden the defense is like, oh, crap, they ran a play. We weren't expecting that. There's some logic to that. So we scattered to west right tight. So west right. West is a formation right here with the 2 tight ends. West. And I don't know why they call it that way, why it's the west. East is the opposite. This guy goes up and the Y comes off. It's the same thing. So this is west right. This is west right. Tight. Tight means the receivers come into tight splits. They're not split out all the way over here like you would see in most normal sets. So
what would that be called?
Just west right. If I just called west right, then they know, okay, hey, wait, I got to get out here by the number, and he's going to get out by the number and do all of that. So now we got scatter to west right tight, F left, which the F is the Z. Okay? I know.
Why?
West Coast rules, I don't know. Instead of saying Z left or Zach, we said F, right? So I know. You can't make sense of all of it all the time. Sometimes you just got to go, that's what he said, and that's how I got to remember it. I don't know why that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. But, so we have the 372, Y stick. What we got? X spot? Is that what, or no, Z spot?
Z spot.
Y stick, Z spot. Here we go. All right, so 370, all right, so west right tight, F left, which is motion, okay? And he's in a motion, and I would, as a quarterback, know I need to set him off just as he's getting to the outside shoulder of the X receiver, all right? Now, you heard the 3 in the number again, right? Yep. 372. All right, so 372 it's a man-to-man protection. The back is going to be real quick off this side, and then he's just going to run a little quick check through if nothing's there. But again, it's a 3-step drop. This ball should be gone pretty quick. You heard the Y stick, right? And you know what? I'm wrong already. Hold on. I got to erase this. Sorry, Coach. He's not going to run that. See? This is what I get for just doing it right off the top of my head.
Maybe you audibled to that.
Run this, run this. All right, so here we go. So now you have this Y stick. You saw X stick before. Y stick, 5-yard out, boom. If he got a zone or something, he can just turn around and make himself available. What does the guy that's always next to the stick route do?
Flat.
Right, so there's you into the flat, right? So single safety defense, even a 2 deep, this is a concept that kind of works against anything, where if you were confused or like, oh, I don't know what coverage this is, you could always just, hey, 1, 2, 3, let me look at my flat to my stick and see who I can hit here. But the play really is the Z spot, right? And Z spot is a play where, one, he's going to set hut on the fly, the motion, and he's going to come down to 5 yards and really just sit and make himself available for the quarterback. This X receiver is going to run a corner route from here, and then this back, quick protection, and then he's going to go on a wide flare route. That's where I messed up. I had him going, checking down over the middle, and I was wrong. And really, this is, what's weird about this play is this is a 3-step drop, and this is a 5-step drop. So it's a little odd because you have to go, wait, if I play for this side, I need to take 3 steps. If I play to that side, I got to take 5 steps. Because if you took 3 steps to this side, it's not even going to be ready yet. They're not going to be out of their break. And with the Z spot, it's like, hey, he's got his spot to sit down. If he did have a man-to-man coverage, a little bit like we saw before, the route would change. He would come in and push the guy in a little bit and then retrace back outside, okay? So that's the Y-stick Z spot.
So you have to know pre-snap if you're going to the right side or left side, depending on how many steps you take?
Yeah, like pre-snap, again, this would be one of those things where man-to-man or too deep, I'd probably want to work this. You know, man-to-man coverage, if this X got off clean and he gets off clean, he might get on top of the guy that's covering him, and all of a sudden you got a guy going one-on-one down the field in a corner route, and you go, man, if I just throw a soft one up there, he can run underneath it, and it's a 25, 30-yard gain, right? If it's cover 2, right, just to explain that too, safeties are here, corners here. As he starts to see the back come out in the backfield, he's going to stay in the flat. There's a linebacker right here, and you're really about creating a hole here and high-lowing this corner between the back and maybe the corner route. So you're kind of just reading that picture, all right? And like I said, with the Y-stick on the front side, you can do that against just about anything, but generally our rules were if it was single safety zone, we played the wide stick. If it was any sort of 2-deep safeties or even a man-to-man, then you could come back and play the Z spot side. And so there it is. There's one of my famous plays that I butchered, scatter to west, right, tight, F left, 372, Y-stick, Z spot.
So when that Z receiver's going in motion too, you have to wait until he gets past the X receiver before you snap it.
You got to know, and you know these are things that practice helps. You get a gauge or feel for how guys run their motion, how fast he's going. Yeah. And as he's going in motion, you're certainly sitting there looking at the coverage of the text clues, right? Maybe they're in a single safety defense, and now motion goes, and they're going, oh wait, they're getting back to a 2-deep safety look, right? So now you got to start thinking, wait, 2-deep, I got to go to the Z spot side. You know, or, you know, you're sitting there, blue 85, and you send the motion, and he's going across. You see a corner going across, and you go, oh, well, he's following him. It's man-to-man. All right, so wait, oh, alert, my X on that corner route, man-to-man. Coach told me he gets off clean. We could have a big play. So you're thinking of all those things in your brain, even as the motion's going.
Right. So there's a lot of things that happen here. Scatter is one of them. And then you got the motion where you're just trying to get clues on what the defense is doing. And you see that today, right? You see that with Kyle Shanahan's offense where they're moving guys around, shifting guys, and a lot of that is just to gain information before the snap.
Gain information before the snap, quarterback clues, right? And really, if you do this the right way, to create a pace and a tempo to where the defense is communicating a lot. You know, they're making a call for this, and then all of a sudden you shift, and, you know, they're making other calls, and hey, 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 and then all of a sudden the motion goes, and it's, no, check to this, to where they're thinking so much that you're hoping that maybe with all this they mess up some of their rules, and I just throw a ball here to the Z spot, and nobody's covering them. And he catches the ball and turns up the field 15 yards because they've messed up and made so many calls and adjustments that they forgot some of their rules in the process too.
Which is why some teams go to a Seattle scheme that's simpler and doesn't have to worry about stuff like that.
Look at you all football knowledged up and everything. Yeah, but you're exactly right because of those type of things. And where have I told you Seattle scheme started? Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Right? Tampa Bay. Why? I'm sure a lot of this is because they were on it. The screwed dealing with Gruden and all these shifts. Why are we playing, man? Check Tampa 2, check cover 3 Seattle scheme. We know what we're doing. We can play fast and now be aggressive. And you're right. That is why that. So now, one more time.
Yep. Okay.
Eye contact. Here we go, Ahmed. Scatter. All right? We got scatter to west, right, tight. F left. 372 Y-stick Z spot.
Scatter to F. Scatter to left, right.
Left,
tight.
right. Whoa, we're going to be lining up left and right, huh?
Scatter to west, right, tight. 372.
Shit. Okay. Call it again. Scatter to west, right, tight.
I have no
F
chance
left.
for this one.
372 Y-stick Z spot on 1.
Scatter to west, right, tight. 372.
What? What about the freaking motion? You forgot my motion.
It should just be Z left.
Yeah, it should, but it's not. Sorry. You can talk to John about that.
Left, 372, X, Y stick, Z spot.
Right. We got
Did
it.
we
The
get
40-second play clock's out. We've got to call another one where we've been penalized.
We had one more timeout. I used the timeout.
You used a timeout? We used 3 timeouts on that one play call.
Okay, so real quick.
Yeah.
The Patriots, if they wanted to call a play like that, you've said before that this is just a simpler system, and a lot of teams have a simpler system. What's a simpler way of calling what we just saw here? Or is there not, because there's so much motion and movement and all that stuff?
No, there is. And, the Patriots, and listen, you're catching me off guard here a little bit.
That's what I like to do.
I know you do. I know. The Patriots have a different word for this, right? Now, the Patriots aren't obsessed with, like, the 3-step pass game like the West Coast offense is. I bet you can count on, like, your hand in 20 years how many times Tom Brady's taken a 3-step drop and thrown, like, the quick slant or things like that. They don't have Y stick. They don't do it. To them, the risk was not worth the reward. Like, what? Oh, we're going to throw through 4 defensive linemen and a linebacker to get a 4-yard gain? So they don't do that. They don't care. They go, oh, if we need a 4-yard gain, we'll clear something out and, have 4 guys going a go route and then have, Wes Welker run some option or jerk route in here, and we'll get the 5-yard completion there, and it'll be real clean, and we don't have to worry about a ball getting batted in the air for an interception or a guy catching the ball and getting crushed as he's doing it, an interception or whatever it may be. So, yeah, and I can't really tell you off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I forget what it is. I have to think about it. But as I've told you in the past, New England's very clear with, their words and combining them.
We'll do a separate video on just the Patriots play.
Yeah, we should do that. I could give some staples of the Patriot offense and tell you what those are called, and we can break that down.
Is there homework?
Is there homework?
Yeah, for me.
You?
For
yeah,
me.
Get better, because the next time we do this, I'm going to call it out of nowhere, and you better be ready.
I'm not going to be ready.
Yeah, the more we do this, I'm just going to start calling stuff as we go, and then you got to have it ready.
Don't do that,
Yeah,
please.
sorry, screw
Please
you.
don't
We
do
need to
that.
get you to work. All right, hope you enjoyed that and have fun giggling at me on social media when I mess it up, like Ahmed did.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.